Hello, welcome back to the Watford Way. Today for a game I'm very nervous about. Coventry City versus Watford. The players are in the tunnel as I speak, ready to emerge. And yeah, look, today I think, looking at the starting 11 that's been put out, I'm very much potentially expecting a battering. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Of course, delighted to see Quadwo Bar once again back in the 11. But yeah, to be honest with you, yeah, I'm pretty nervous for this one, it has to be said. The players now coming out of the tunnel, getting ready to go. I had a bit of an issue actually trying to get Sky Sports to work prior to coming live. So apologies if I'm a bit late, but I'm back. I'm ready to go. The teams are coming out of the tunnel. And hopefully today we'll be in for a very, very good game and Watford's first away win for a very long time. Let's take a look at some of your messages. Pepperface is here. Hello. Hope you are well. William says en route to the match now. Come on, Watford. Put on a show for my birthday. Well, I assume you are there now, William. So happy birthday to you. VJ says hello from a sunny Albania. Like the players, I will be confident we can win this. If there's no confidence, then what is the point? Exactly that. 2-0 to the Orns. VJ has gone Vata and Quadwo Bar. Panphalon is here. He says morning. Well, afternoon. Exactly. Afternoon. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Melanie is here as well. One of our channel members. Hope you're well, Melanie. I know you've not been to Vicarage Road for quite a while. I know you said it's quite a journey for you. So hopefully Watford can put in a good showing for you today. Fwog says, I'm terrified about this one. Just no battering, please. Hopefully it will be okay. Fingers crossed. But yeah, I'm very worried. I mean, looking at the Coventry 11, Brandon Thomas Asante, clearly a massive threat. Hadji Wright as well is very dangerous. We've seen that against Watford in the past couple of seasons. In midfield, you have Sakamoto as well, Mason Clark, Jay De Silva. All these players are excellent. And what I like about Frank Lampard and Coventry in particular is that they don't really make many changes in each game. Even today, Watford again have made 5 or 6 changes. Whereas you look at the Coventry 11 for the past few weeks, bar 1 or 2 players coming in and out, it's been pretty consistent. And we're now in late October, and Watford still don't really know their best team. Now, as fans, we probably know what the team should be and the formation Javi should play. But yeah, it still looks like it's going to take Javi some time to find his best 11, which is a little bit concerning, it has to be said. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get that much needed away win today, or at the very least for me, I would just love a clean sheet. A clean sheet for me should be a priority for Watford. So that is what I'm hoping for this afternoon. Okay, in terms of my score prediction, what am I going to go with? It's a difficult one. I can't remember what I went with in my last video. I don't think I actually did a score prediction. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 Watford win. A 2-1 Watford win. So Watford are just on the halfway line now in a huddle, getting ready to go. Lots of you tuning in as per usual as well, which is great to see. All right, we're nearly ready to kick off here. And we're underway. Here we go. The time is up and running. And we're underway at the Coventry Building Society Arena. And straight away, Coventry trying to get on the attack down the right-hand side, committing a lot of plays forward from the kick. But it has gone out for a Watford goal kick. Rudy is here. Rudy says, hello, James. It was a good win on Wednesday, but it could be tough today, especially against top of the table. Absolutely. VJ also says, aiming for 2K subscribers before Christmas. That is the aim. The channel, for some reason, over the past couple of weeks has really exploded. We've gained loads of subscribers in the past few days, which is really appreciated. So yeah, not too long to go until the much anticipated 2,000 subscribers. So yeah, that is the goal. Fwog says, yes, I get the rotation from the recent game and still finding his best 11, but hopefully next week we don't have to deal with that. So next week again is another tough test day. We've got Middlesbrough at home next weekend, the return of Rob Edwards, which will be interesting, I've got to say. So yeah, it doesn't get any easier for Watford. We've got Bristol coming up, Ipswich as well. Just trying to think who else we've got in the run. But yeah, it's a really, arguably our toughest run we'll see this season. I mean, today should theoretically be the toughest team we faced in the division. Not on player quality per se, but in terms of the form they're on and how consistent they've been performing. You know, Coventry clearly is the toughest test Watford have faced so far. And here they come down the right-hand side. Watford clear. Kevin Caben with the clearance. Mamadou Doumbia chases this down. Doumbia does really well here. Doumbia plays through Rocco Vata. Here we go, Rocco Vata one-on-one. Rocco Vata, oh, what a big chance. What a big chance for Rocco Vata. He should have scored. Rocco Vata should have scored. And, oh my God. What a run that was by Mamadou Doumbia, firstly. Rushworth making himself big in the Coventry City goal. And, Rocco Vata, what a shame. He should have put that away. And here come Coventry. The ball's dinked in, and it's a goal. They've gone ahead. And it's Thomas Asante with the header. And that's all it takes. Watford at one end, miss a one-on-one. They go straight up the other. And they score a goal. What a shame. And that's game over. You know, that is probably game over. Let's be honest here. Watford just cannot defend at all. Brandon Thomas Asante with a wonderful header. A really nice dinked cross. And Watford just can't defend. Frank Lampard doesn't look too pleased for some reason. But yeah, Coventry ahead. Let's get that score changed. And yeah, unfortunately, I do have to report they have taken the lead. So Coventry 1, Watford 0. What a chance that was for Rocco Vata. He should be burying that really straight at the goalkeeper. That's a shame. That's really a shame. You know, Watford's game plan, it seemed to me from the very off, and that is poor defending from Abankwah and Caben as well. But yeah, Watford's game plan early on, it looked to me, was to soak up pressure and use Mamadou Doumbia and Bar Vata to counter attack. And yeah, straight away Watford already behind in this game. Kwadwo Bar has gone down off the ball now. He's receiving treatment from the Watford physios. Hopefully he's okay. But yeah, Coventry City already ahead. I mean, Vata must be kicking himself for missing that chance. I think we're going to watch it back in the replay here. So great work by Doumbia. A lovely pass through to Rocco Vata. I mean, Rushworth, to be fair to him, he does do really well. But Vata, he's got to be doing better with the finish there, really. Just bending it round. Rushworth in goal. Patrick says, can't waste that away from home. Fwog says, this is going to be a long game. The clean sheet hopes are gone already. I know, I've been desperate for a clean sheet for such a long time. And yeah, as VJ says, fine margins. Watford up the other end, missing a huge chance. And then Brandon Thomas Asante, I think, is the top goal scorer actually in the Championship this season with 8 or 9 goals. He, does really well with his opportunities. So yeah, big shame. Josh, who's a Blackburn fan by the looks of it, says, think of what you guys did to Pompey. You came from 1-0 down, and then the second half you came back. I know, but yeah, Pompey are, a different proposition to Coventry City. Coventry are the team this season to beat, and Watford, haven't done themselves any favours already. It's a real shame to go behind so early on. I want to watch the goal back again, actually, just to see who was at fault, who was marking Thomas Asante. It wouldn't surprise me if it was Sissoko's man, for example. But it looked like it was maybe James Abankwa or Kevin Caben at fault for that one. So 6 minutes gone. Watford 1 goal down at the CBS Arena. Over 2,000 Hornets fans have gone today, which is a great following. So a credit to everyone that has travelled. And here are Coventry again. It's 2-0. Watford being torn apart. Coventry score a second goal. Oh dear. Deary me. 2-0. 6 minutes gone. Blimey. And yeah, the Watford squad with their heads down, looking really demoralised. Allen with the goal. Oh dear. So it's from a corner again. So Watford conceding from a set piece. The ball falls out, not closing down quick enough. And the clean strike past Egil Selvik, it's a good strike on goal. But Coventry go 2-0 up. And it doesn't look like we'll be seeing any sort of real Watford win or performance today. Frog says it's game over already. It certainly is. We're on track for a battering. I mean, this is embarrassing now. Here is Kwadwo Barlow driving into the box. Referee says that is a foul. So Kwadwo Bar winning Watford a free kick. I mean, it's been a very open and entertaining game if you're a neutral. But, not good so far. And yeah, Watford actually attacking towards the away fans in this first half. So Thomas Asante with the opener. Allen for Coventry with the second. Can Watford get one back from this set piece opportunity here? Loser standing over this. 8 minutes, 30 seconds played. So here is Loser. We need, a superb delivery really here. Loser standing over it. The referee blows his whistle. Oh, Loser goes low. Nearly goes into the back of the net, going past all of the Watford and Coventry players piled into the penalty area. It is cleared in the end, and it goes out for a throw on the halfway line. But a dangerous delivery there from Imran Loser. But I am struggling to get excited, as I'm sure you can understand, because it's going to take a lot for Watford to get back into this game. It's going to take maybe a Coventry mistake, a capitulation. And do I think that's going to happen? Absolutely not. Coventry are the team, as I said, to beat this season. So, yeah, very frustrating. Patrick says Kevin Caben is absolutely awful. Dear God, who deemed him the Rolls Royce of defenders? Well, I did call him that when he first started for Watford. When he first made his debut, I thought he was a pretty good player, but I'm not quite sure what's happened to him over the past couple of months. He just looks a shadow of his former self. Of course, he's struggled with injury issues for a long time now. Watford signed him when he was injured. It took him a long time to really get back and into his pomp. He didn't play much last season. But to be honest, Patrick, I think a lot of it is down to the constant chopping and changing. For example, Matty Pollock has started the past couple of games. He's no longer in the team today. Max Elaine has been is nowhere to be seen under Javi Gracia so far, and he was one of our best centre backs. So for me, I think a lot of it isn't down to necessarily player mistakes and player quality. It's more down to Watford picking consistent 11s and giving the players a chance to form relationships on the pitch with each other. Because Coventry, the excuse Watford make is that, oh, of course, 3 games in 7 days, you need to rotate. But Coventry City have had the same schedule as Watford, and they've rotated nowhere near as much as we have. So I think for me, it's more down to, Javi very quickly needs to find his best 11, stick with it, and let them players form bonds and relationships, in my opinion. Tom says, what is going on? You tell me, Tom. You tell me. I mean, Rocco Vata had the biggest opportunity of the game. You could argue he was one-on-one with Carl Rushworth in the Coventry goal. He squandered that chance. It was a good save, to be fair. He did a Kasper Schmeichel and made himself big, but then Coventry went straight up the other end. Thomas Asante scored a wonderful header, and ever since that moment, Coventry have been by far the better team. Watford really playing on the counter at the moment. Coventry with a long throw here. Quadwobar looks to clear. He doesn't do so. Coventry retain possession. Kevin Caben trying to shepherd the ball out of play. SAFC 37 says Sunderland fan here. Glad we're out of that league where we belong in the Prem. Well, yeah, you guys doing really well so far this season. So massive congratulations to Sunderland, of course. Watford, I think for me, seeing us both under Javi and Paolo so far this season, we just scream mid-table. 1 week we can put in a really good performance against West Brom, for example. Oxford before the international break is another example as well. And then we can come to Coventry today and get absolutely smashed. So, yeah, for me, Watford are, we may have a chance of playoffs. Come March, April time, we may be within 6 or 9 points of them top 6 positions. But I don't look at this Watford side and see that we will be consistent enough to really mount a proper charge. So that's how I feel currently. Anthony says, do I know Matt SB? I've watched him. I don't know him personally, though. Dearie me. Dearie me. Not how I wanted this watch along to go today. I mean, it's been months and months and months since we last saw a good, Watford performance here on stream. Melanie says we're all rooting for Sunderland in the Premier League. I think we're all rooting for all the promoted teams, actually. If you look at the relegation zone in the Premier League currently, I think it's Forest, Wolves and West Ham. So, yeah, can you imagine if all 3 of them teams come down and all 3 promoted teams stayed up? It would be really exciting, actually, from a neutral perspective for me watching the Premier League to change it up a bit. I mean, West Ham getting relegated would be one of the biggest stories in world football. I mean, they've had a complete disaster since they moved to the London Stadium, really. Sure, it's a big venue, it can hold a lot of people, but as they say, the soul of West Ham has been slowly but surely dragged out of that club. And yeah, their old ground was, such a bit like Ellen Road, really, their old stadium. It was such a what's the word? I can't think of the right word, but it's so hostile, I think is what I'm trying to say. And the London Stadium, of course, it was made for the London Olympics. It's an athletics track, essentially, and ultimately it's a complete shit show for West Ham, I've got to say. Here's Quadwobar. Just too much on that ball for him to run onto. VJ says West Ham look very dodgy. Patrick says, dear oh dear Kayembe, you are a joke. To be honest, I've not noticed Kayembe too much, but I'm not really paying too much attention to the game at the moment because there's really no hope of Watford getting back into this. I mean, the best we can wish for now, I suppose, is maybe a comeback, 2-2 draw potentially, something like that. But yeah, I don't think Watford will be getting 3 points today. Christopher and Jerry Horner in the stands. Jerry Horner, of course, a former Spice Girl. She's born in Watford as well. So good to see her there, hopefully supporting the lads. Not good. Not good. Ngakia into Sissoko, who loses the ball, and Coventry counter here. And here we go. This could be from Sissoko. And that is Musa Sissoko's fault. Sissoko, oh, it's offside. Thank God. Thank God. Sissoko dispossessed so easily. And yeah, Coventry scored a third. Haji Wright this time at the back post. It was a sweaty FIFA type goal. But yeah, Musa Sissoko, lazy, gets dispossessed, wasn't strong enough. Coventry score a third. Luckily for Watford, it's been ruled out as offside. But again, really poor from someone who is meant to be an experienced professional. As I've said before, his legs are gone. He shouldn't be anywhere near this Watford 11. And, you know, this is the part of the stream where I get angry. And I look at the Watford bench. There's no non-police Mendy. There's no Pierre Duomo. Hector Kiprianu has been dropped. And we're starting Kayembe and Sissoko. My brain just can't... I don't know why Javi is doing this. I don't know why Javi is deliberately sabotaging his own season and his own... You know, he's losing a lot of credit very quickly, Javi Gracia, I've got to say. The West Brom second half, I thought, was very good, regardless of the Sissoko and Kayembe substitutions. But knowing how Coventry play and how intense and quick they are in the break, why would you pick two slow, lethargic players in Kayembe and Musa Sissoko? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, Coventry... I mean, I don't know how far offside that was, but the lino bailed Watford out there, thankfully. Melanie says, my son is a West Ham fan. You took him there for his 21st in March. A soulless place and a horror show at the moment. Spot on. Spot on there, Melanie, absolutely. Anthony Schofield says it's very hard to decide who's more rubbish, Watford or Norwich. They're very much like each other. I mean, I've just shown the replay for the offside here. I don't actually think it was offside. I think the lino has probably done Watford a favour. Yeah, it doesn't look like an offside to me. So, yeah, Coventry, you know, rightly should be furious with that decision there. Haji Wright, you know, should have had a goal. And going back to Anthony's point about who's worse, Watford or Norwich. Obviously, Norwich, you know, on form are the poorer teams so far this season. I don't think Liam Manning has actually won a home game yet. So, yeah, he's certainly fighting for his managerial career at the moment over in Norfolk. I mean, Coventry probably should have had 3 or 4 now, to be honest with you. I mean, Watford really struggling today. And the run of fixtures we have coming up as well. You know, this was always my concern. Middlesbrough, Bristol, Ipswich. I think there's more after that as well. It's really tough. And I've got to say, Javi Gracia, you know, for me, this is his last chance in terms of starting Sissoko and Kayembe. For me. Surely he's going to learn from today. You would like to think. Oh, here's Mamadou Doumbia running through. Doumbia takes it past Rushworth. And Mamadou Doumbia very nearly getting Watford back into the game. What a recovery that was from the Coventry City defence. And Doumbia, of course, being a pressing machine. He did really well there. Vatter with a lovely dinked pass actually in the first instance. Doumbia knocks it past Rushworth. And yeah, a great defensive recovery there in the end. Watford have a corner. Corner comes in. I think that was Ngakia trying to do an Olympico once again, as we saw against Oxford United at Vicarage Road, scoring directly from the corner. Kyle says, have I got any news on when Off-Man Mama could come to Watford? I'm not privy to that information. From what I've seen so far, it still looks like he's in Morocco, taking in the celebrations, the plaudits. He's receiving lots of gifts. The last thing I saw on social media was him going to this very posh, classy restaurant and getting a whole buffet meal just for Off-Man Mama. So yeah, certainly I would say don't expect him this weekend. I think he'll probably return over the weekend, return to training towards the start of next week. We might see him feature potentially against Middlesbrough at home at Vicarage Road. So that's when, if I was to take an educated guess, is when we'll see Off-Man Mama back at Watford. Here's Kayembe out wide to Kwadwo Bar. Bar to Loser. Loser takes a touch, turns, does a bit of a pirouette. Plays it back to Kevin Caben. James Abankwa back to Caben. Watford pushing very high, almost on the halfway line now. Loser dropping deep to pick up the ball once again. Kayembe. And Watford not really doing too much with the ball at the moment, just passing it around at the back. Probably the players just trying to take a little breather before they go on the attack once again. Eugene says, thoughts on Sheffield Wednesday's 12-point deduction. I think for them, they're viewing it as they were going to get relegated anyway. So the 12 points deduction really is meaningless. I think for them, going into administration is by far the biggest opportunity they've had to get rid of Chanziri and bring in a new ownership. So yeah, the rules in the EFL state you go into administration, that is the punishment you get. But I think most people would agree they were going to have a high possibility of getting relegated regardless. So actually the mood around Sheffield Wednesday seems to be quite positive because they can see finally a more positive future for them in the coming years. So yeah, I'm fully behind them, and hopefully they bring in some competent owners very soon. Please do subscribe to the Watford Way as well. We're getting ever closer to 2,000 subscribers. I believe we're about, how many away? 60, 70 away. So hopefully in the next month or so, we can hit that magic 2K mark. It would be greatly appreciated and totally free to do, of course, as well. Do leave a big thumbs up on the stream as well. Patrick suggesting that it may not be the managers choosing the 11. Now, of course, we did see the story emerge from the Telegraph. I think it was suggesting, well, from Paolo's camp anyway, suggesting that there was pressure from higher ups to play players associated with Mogi Bayat, and Kayembe and Sissoko are two of them players. Loser with a big chance there, by the way. A great save from Carl Rushworth, Watford with the corner. Genuinely, Patrick, I think at every club there's probably pressure from agents to play certain players. There's maybe even pressure at other clubs from the ownership or sporting directors. But I do think there seems to be a myth around Sissoko and Kayembe that managers, seem to think they're experienced heads and that they can lean on, especially in Sissoko's case. Whereas actually the idea of Sissoko and the reality of Sissoko are two totally different things. Look, if you offered me the Sissoko of 6 or 7 years ago against Tottenham when they were reaching the Champions League final, I would take that version of Sissoko. But what we're seeing now is a 36, 37-year-old Sissoko who, quite frankly, can't track back, he can't keep hold of possession, he can't win duels. You know, what use is he to us? I don't know why he's still here. I can't believe we signed him on a 2-year deal. So look, obviously, Patrick, we can speculate all we want. We never really know the reality of these things because we're not in the training ground, 24/7, 7 days a week. But yeah, I certainly think you are right in thinking it's a possibility that higher ups are controlling or certainly hinting to Javi at selecting certain players. Here come Coventry once again. Sakamoto on the ball just outside the edge of the box. Oh, I thought that was going in there. Sometimes the camera angle on TV can be deceiving. Mason Clark with the shot, looking to curl it past Eggleston, but it went well wide of the goal in the end. Buzzing Hornet says he doesn't buy the speculation that it isn't the manager picking the side. Otherwise, why wouldn't their number one targets be not in the squad or getting played? Absolutely. Obviously, Formosa Mendy was branded as the club's number one centre-back target. We brought him in on deadline day, if I remember correctly. And he's not in the squad at all today. Non-Police Mendy, the midfielder he brought in from Leicester City, not in the squad, and he's quite an energetic presence, so that's interesting as well. Pierre Duomo, again, he was in the squad last time at Vicarage Road. Today, he's excluded from the squad, so yeah, it's very bizarre. Oh, here is Imran Loser. I'm going to have to interrupt myself here. Mamadou Doumbia running in behind. Referee says no foul. Go on, Mama, have a shot. Oh, blimey, Watford are getting into some decent positions here. They do look a bit shaky at the back, Coventry. I mean, Doumbia should have just unleashed that on his right foot. He went to cut back inside. Good work from Mamadou Doumbia, though. And Watford have the chance from another corner again. It's in at the near post this time. Comes out to Edu Kayembe, who takes a really poor touch. Plays it out to Ngakia. And that is terrible from Jeremy Ngakia, who found his way over on this left-hand side. Musa Sissoko. To be fair to him there, he did really well to win the ball back. And Watford look to break forward again here. And that's offside. That's the first positive thing I've seen Sissoko do. He filled the void of Ngakia, who went over to take the corner, tracked back, showed a quick burst of pace. And yeah, fair play to Musa. He did well there. Mark Boller. Oh, Mark Boller does really well. Boller, get the delivery in. Blimey. I tell you what, Watford, we started terribly, to be honest with you. However, since the second goal, we have grown into the game somewhat. I mean, we're still 2-0 down. Let's not beat around the bush. We're still not very good at defending at all. But we are getting back into this one slowly but surely. Charlotte Gibson says, why are we such slow starters? Feels like ages since we actually scored the first goal in the game. Spot on. I mean, I'm sure a few of you could do some research on stream for me. When was the last time Watford took the lead in a match of football in the Championship? Here's Vata, looks to square it, well defended, goes out for another Watford corner. Mamadou Doumbia really impressive so far though. Come on, a goal before half-time would be lovely. That's something to clutch onto. So Ngakia taking the corner again. Oh, it's terrible from Ngakia. Why is Jeremy Ngakia taking our corners all of a sudden? What is going on? Obviously, Loser takes them over on the other side, but yeah, I'd rather Loser took them on both sides, to be honest with you, than Ngakia. I mean, he just puts it straight out of play. I mean, it's so disappointing. What a waste of an opportunity that was. Javi Gracia in quite a smart shirt on the touchline. He's certainly not a tracksuit manager. Selvik plays out to Jeremy Ngakia. Jezza sends it long, looking to find Mamadou Doumbia. And Carl Rushworth claims that long ball relatively easily. Yeah, very bizarre Watford performance. I really feel deep in my heart, and this isn't to put all the blame on these two players because they're not at blame for the goals specifically. But I do feel for the overall balance, both offensively and defensively, we can do much better than Sissoko and Kayembe. We really can. And it's such a shame to see us throw games away or make it a lot more difficult for ourselves to get back into games with them two players starting. Yeah, Buzzing Hornet making a good point there. Why would the club spend millions of pounds openly stating that Formosa Mendy is the #1 centre-back target and then not play them? It doesn't make any sense. No chance they would sacrifice league position for an agent. Exactly. You know, I've got no doubts that there is some sort of weird relationship between Bayat and Gino. I think that's very clear. The amount of time they spend together and the amount of games Bayat attends at Vicarage Road, I think that's obvious for everyone to see. But it will be much more lucrative for Watford and for Bayat actually to achieve Premier League promotion than it would be just to play, you know, Kayembe and Sissoko here and there. So yeah, I kind of I'm more inclined to agree with Buzzing Hornet's point in chat there. Kyle says, I'm not sure if this has been answered, but was there any reason there was no match preview for this game? Purely because the turnaround was too short. So obviously Watford played on Wednesday. I did my match reaction on Thursday. And yeah, it was basically, if I published it on Friday, there would only be like a day for the video to be watched. So I opted not to do a preview for this one. Here's Kwadwo Bar in acres of space. Drags it back for Vata. Oh, big chance for Vata again. Here's Kayembe. Shoots. Oh, my God. Watford having a good spell here. Blimey. I tell you what, I can't fault them for their work rate after the second goal. Their work rate has been very good. It has been very good. It's just more frustrating conceding them goals, you know, in the first place. So Vata with the initial shot. And then Kayembe has a long ranger saved by Rushworth in goal. And Kwadwo Bar, for me, proving why he should be starting week in, week out, causing chaos. Once again, down the right-hand side. Ngakia with the ball in. Headed clear this time by Coventry. And here is Bar over on this right-hand side. Plays it back to Imran Loser. Loser floats the ball in. Headed clear. Oh, God. Oh, my God. It should have been 3-0 Coventry. It really should have been 3-0 Coventry. Kayembe couldn't keep up with Mason Clark, I think it was. And he bends it just past that far corner, running pretty much the entire length of the pitch. What a run that is. Kayembe just couldn't get in front of him at all. Rocco Vata getting back to help in the end. Here is Vata, saved again by Rushworth in goal. What a performance he's having for Coventry. Wow. I'll tell you what, Rushworth having a quality performance. I wasn't quite sure how Vata ended up in that position. We were watching a replay on Sky, and then they literally cut straight to Vata, pretty much in a one-on-one opportunity again. What a save that is by Rushworth. Really, I mean, it's superb. Really is. He's got to be one of the best goalkeepers in this division, if not the best. It was like James Trafford at Burnley last season. Here's Vata again. Oh, it's saved again. Oh no, sorry, it's the replay. It's the replay. I was tricked. They showed the replay again, but from the normal camera angle. Oh my gosh. I feel like a fool. He is Coventry. Oh dear. Do excuse me. I was fooled by the Sky Sports replay. They showed the same chance again from a different angle, and I thought it was another opportunity for Rocco Vata. Yeah, so my summary of Coventry so far, and this is the first time I've properly watched them this season, is that on the attack, they look extremely dangerous and threatening. However, defensively, because they commit so many bodies forward, there's always, for Watford anyway, it seems like a spare man over on the right or left-hand side. And the more width we can have, I think, in this game, the better. Stretch that back line, use your wide players in Vata and Quadwo, and hopefully that's where we'll find our success. But yeah, defensively, they do look a little bit suspect. And Carl Rushworth, to be fair to the guy, has bailed them out on already 5 or 6 occasions. So yeah, you could say that's good goalkeeping or arguably poor finishing from Watford. But I'll be generous and say it's very good goalkeeping. Philip Mason, welcome to the stream. Philip, you say Sissoko and Kayembe aren't doing what they've been brought into the team to do. They've been brought in Javi's eyes, to bring some solidity and aid to the defence. Absolutely, I think you're spot on there, Philip. As I said, for some reason, managers when they come into Watford seem to be under some illusion that Sissoko is the Sissoko of 5 or 6 years ago, when, as I said earlier, and I'll say it again, the reality is very different. So yeah, like we saw against West Brom, I don't mind using Sissoko for 5, 10, 15 minutes to maybe see out a game and add some physicality into the team. But to start him again, for me, it's football suicide in my opinion. Melanie says Vata should be on a hat-trick. He certainly should have scored at least one of his opportunities. I'd agree with that. Or James Abankwa shanks it, and it goes out for a Blues corner. Oh, there's been some positives though. There has been some positives. It's not been, well, in the first 10 minutes it looked like it was going to be a battering, but so far, since the second goal anyway, we've been much more positive than I assumed, to be fair. The referee just having a word with Jeremy Ngakia, who's man marking Sakamoto and Thomas Asante. Kayembe clears. Here's Sissoko. Play the pass, Musa. Vata's through. Here we go again. Rocco Vata through on goal again. Please score. Oh, it's over. It's over. It's over the bar. Rocco Vata. I mean, it's really positive from Rocco. And he was being closed down on that occasion, to be fair. The angle was tight. It's been a really exciting game, actually. As I said, Watford always seem to have a spare man out wide on the counter. That time with the opportunity, I still think he should be hitting the target there. Potato he says, is Iran Kunda injured? Surely him and Bar would have been a better partnership. Not injured. I think he's been dropped merely for quite a poor performance. Oh, it's 3-0. It's 3-0. Never mind. It's 3-0 Cov. You know what? I'm just going to stop speaking now. It's 3-0 Coventry. They're just so clinical in front of goal. They really are. A fantastic finish. Deary me. Sakamoto with the goal. I mean, he's looked quality throughout the match already. He reminds me of Ayo Tanaka at Leeds, actually, in the way he turns, the low centre of gravity, the ease at which he does quite complex things in the football pitch. Let's watch this back on the replay then. So Abankwa loses the duel. Sakamoto through. And yeah, Kevin Caben doesn't get the block in. I mean, should Selvik do better? I would argue Selvik is probably slightly out of position there. Maybe it takes a slight nick off of a Watford player. But yeah, game over. Game totally over. Watford are not getting back into this one now. If anything, this could get a lot worse in the second half. For Watford, it's now, damage control, isn't it? It's, do you sit on this and try and defend the 3-0 to protect your goal difference, or do you take the risk of going for the game and then ultimately leaving yourself susceptible at the back? I think that's the question for Javi Gracia now. For me, I would much rather come out of here with the 3-0 and just leave it at that, rather than taking the risks of pushing Watford forward further. I mean, we're still committing a lot of bodies here, and here's Coventry again on the attack. Is Hadji right this time? And I think it's a penalty. It's a red card! It's a red card! You've got to be joking me! I can't be fucked with this. I cannot be bothered. I cannot be bothered. It's a red card to James Abankwa for a dogso, the denial of a clear goal scoring opportunity. This is a joke. I can't believe this. I thought there was a man covering. I really thought there was a man covering. I mean, is it a penalty as well? I thought the foul was actually inside the box. I mean, let's watch this back on the replay here. No, it is outside of the box, actually. I mean, it's silly from James Abankwa, really. I mean, nowhere near the ball at all. Oh my God. It goes from bad to worse. This is a complete farce. Matty Pollock coming on. Let's see who Javi Gracia sacrifices. And we've always known James Abankwa's got a mistake in him. We saw last season he is susceptible, at getting sent off. I think away at Oxford last season he got a red card, actually, if I remember correctly. I need to calm down. I mean, I get so angry, but it's obviously out. It's obviously out of my control watching at home. So yeah, a red card. Matty Pollock set to come on. I mean, you can't even play out from the back, Matty Pollock. I don't know. Let's just see what happens here. So Musa Sissoko is being taken off, and Matty Pollock is coming on. I mean, you know what? I actually really do feel sorry for the Watford fans that went up today. I really do. I mean, we had William earlier saying he was excited. It was his birthday. He was hoping for a Watford win. And it's just been a total and utter capitulation. I mean, this Watford team, we are not top six material. We are not top six material. I think we are a bog standard mid-table team. You know, we'll probably finish somewhere between 10th and 15th this season. You know, I am very reactionary, so I do apologise, but I just I have no words. I have no words. Potato says, what's the record defeat in the championship? Well, Coventry, let's just see what happens at this free kick. I mean, it's a good position for the free kick. Matt Grimes is obviously dangerous here. He signed for big money last season, if you remember. Grimes standing over this. You know, I reckon this will be another goal. Oh, Watford just about get it clear. Blimey. Pollock clears this time. Loser. I mean, it's a horrific performance. It really is. I mean, Watford. I mean, the players should come out and apologise after. Really, it's just disgraceful. I'm not taking anything away from Coventry, by the way. I think they have been excellent and they thoroughly deserve the win and the position they're in the league. So I need to make that perfectly clear. I'm not discounting what Coventry have done because they have made Watford look poor. But it's just frustrating as well because we have had chances through Doumbia, Vata and other players as well since that second goal to get back into this game. I just think it's football suicide from Javi Gracia. Mamadou Doumbia is going to get a yellow card here for dissent. He says F off to the referee. I mean, if Doumbia is not careful here, he'll get himself sent off for another yellow card. He's so angry at the referee here, Mamadou Doumbia. I mean, this is what happens with a young squad. Of course, they have all immense talent and potential. I'm not taking that away from this group. But it might take a couple of years for that to come together. And what we're seeing at the moment is a good performance, poor performance, good performance, poor performance. And for one reason or another, Gino Pozzo doesn't want to have a long-term project. I know Tom's struggling at Plymouth, but I would have been happy, at least for the start of this season, to stick with Tom and see what happens. Because I want to commit to a manager and know we've got them for the long term, to try and build a system, build relationships. Build something special. Yet what Watford have is short-term thinking to try and get that Premier League money. They want that promotion to get the money, bank it, and I'm sure Gino, if that happens, would probably sell the club, in my opinion. However, with a young squad, you need to let that build over months, years, maybe even longer than that. So, yeah, it's an odd one. And Frank Lampard's been at Coventry for a few seasons now, and only this year are they really seeing the benefits of that. So, I don't know. I mean, there's lots of conversations we can have, really, isn't there? Here's Ngakia, cleared by Coventry. Lots of you tuning in to watch me have a meltdown here. David's calling me a defeatist. James, you defeatist. I see a 4-3 win for Watford. Well, David, thank you for your optimism and positivity, but I can't see that happening, in my opinion. Sam says Watford have been decent, just can't finish. I mean, I suppose you're right. I don't think we've been decent defensively. I think defensively we've been shocking, but on the counter attack, yeah, I would agree. We've had some massive chances. Well, it is half time, and oh my god, what a terrible showing from Watford. Really poor. Let me stop the timer. Oh god. What do I say? I honestly have no words. I think for me, I hope Javi Gracia will very quickly learn that Musa Sissoko and Kayembe do not offer your team balance. They do not. It's as simple as that. I'm happy to use them two players as, 10, 15-minute substitutions to see out a game, because they're both very physical. They can hold on to the ball, play it simple. They are capable of doing that, both players. But to start them away at Coventry, when we're not using Cipriano, non-police Mendy, Pierre Duomo, is crazy. For me, that's just crazy. It's astonishing. And again, I have to say, I do feel sorry for the Watford fans that travelled. For the last few weeks, I've been asking for Kwadwo Bar to start matches of football. I've said week in, week out, free bar, start the movement, get it going on social media. And he does start today, but he starts in a team with Sissoko and Kayembe, and he's not going to perform at his best with them mediocre players around him. So, I don't know. It's been a real... I'm really conflicted in what I've seen today, because for the first 10 minutes, we were terrible in both boxes. We were terrible in both boxes. Offensively and defensively, Watford were really poor. And then Coventry scored the 2 goals. Thomas Asante with the first. I can't remember who got the second. Now, was it Sakamoto with the second? And from that point on, we actually played okay. On the counter-attack, when Watford won the ball, Mamadou Doumbia, Kwadwo Bar, Rocco Batta, them 3 players looked really exciting to watch. But they just couldn't finish their dinner. And Coventry City ultimately can. And that's been the difference between both teams today. KO Drummer says Musa Sissoko was good. He had a couple of decent recoveries. I will give Sissoko credit for that. He did recover on a couple of occasions to win the ball back for Watford. But I don't know. I don't know how to feel. Because if Watford had said to me the Javi Gracia project is long term, they want to work with Javi for 2 to 3 seasons and build something at the club again, I would have been happy, and I wouldn't maybe have been as angry as I am today. But the problem is, like with Paolo was signed on a 1-year deal. So Paolo's aim and goal was to achieve the playoff positions. And Watford felt, because they sacked him, he wasn't the man to do that. They brought in Javi Gracia because they think he is the man to get Watford to the playoff positions. But in my head, that is short-termism. That is short-term thinking. And with a squad as young as ours and inconsistent as they are, as we saw with Vata, Iran Kunda, a Banqua's red card today, I think for me that requires a long-term project. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I would take a quick break and then I'll be back for the second half. But, hopefully... all I can hope for is we don't concede any more goals. That is what I'm hoping for the second half. So stick around, don't go anywhere. I'll be back in a few minutes. But the score is Coventry 3, Watford 0. Oh, I'm back. Hello. Ready for the second half. Look, I think for me, what's the best I can hope for here? Maybe 5-0 or less. Oh God. I mean, what else can I say? There's not a lot else I can say really. I mean, in terms of our chances in front of goal, we should have been way more clinical. I think that's obvious, but Coventry City, for me, are proving why they are top of the league. They are superb. They're not as defensively sound as I thought. They're very open for Watford to get at them on the counter-attack, but they're just so slick in front of goal. Their quality, they're composed, they're clinical. They're all of the adjectives, if you will, in the dictionary. So yeah, I've accepted defeat now. I've had a drink. I've calmed down slightly. I just hope it's not like a Man City style battering. I remember the Kike Sanchez Flores game where we went up to the Etihad. I mean, what was the final score there? Was it 9-0, 8-0? I can't remember. One of the two. And yeah, that was terrible. So I'm just hoping we can regroup and have some sort of structure, in the Watford defence. Kevin Caben, by the way, he needs to be dropped. He really, really, really does. What Max Elaine has done to not start since Javi Gracia has arrived, I've got no idea. Max Elaine is just suddenly, out of the Watford squad altogether. So I'm confused about that one for sure. I'm just trying to see if oh, here we go. Look at that. There you go. I've added a red card above Watford's name in the just up there. I've added a red card. There you go. Oh. Owen says, as long as Javi can get his first away goal, I'll be happy. Baby steps. Or Owen not asking for too much. He just wants Javi to get an away goal today. Fair enough, Owen. Buzzing Hornet says, bring on Hector Cipriani and go 4-3. Yeah, I'd love to see Hector back in the team. Certainly over Sissoko and Kayembe. I don't know. I mean, I'm seated. I'm strapped in. I'm ready to go for the second half. I hope you guys are as well. The players should be coming back out any moment now. Sky Sports about to cut back to the CBS Arena. Watford are out already, actually. Just waiting for Coventry. And the reaction, I did check social media actually just now, and the reaction generally doesn't seem too negative. I mean, it's not a total meltdown from the Watford fan base. I think we can all appreciate that in front of goal, we've had chances to score, Vata especially. But yeah, it's like when we were in the Premier League and you kind of went to Man City as a Watford fan expecting a defeat. And I kind of felt the same way today. It's sad to say, but I woke up feeling already resigned to a defeat, and evidently I was probably right in my thinking there. So yeah, let's see what happens. Just waiting for both teams to re-emerge. Kyle says, James Abankwah off must mean Max Elaine in at the weekend. I mean, there's so many options in them centre-back positions. We've got Formosa Mendy as well, who's not even in the matchday squad. We spoke about him earlier, but he was branded by the club in their communications as the #1 centre-back target this summer. He was their priority signing defensively, according to the club directly. And he saw one game played out of position against Millwall at right wing back under Paolo Pezzolano, and we've not seen him since then. So yeah, as far as I'm aware, he's not injured. Duomo's not injured, as are others that have been excluded. The only players who aren't here today that are injured is Georgie Shafatatse and Caleb Wiley. Everyone else is available for selection, so it's merely down to Javi Gracia and his team selection today, in terms of why certain people are absent anyway. Oh, okay. Here we go. Doumbia has to be careful as well. So Doumbia was yellow carded for dissent at the referee. So yeah, hopefully he'll be okay. But can you imagine if Watford picked up 2 red cards today? It would be very unfortunate indeed. Buzzing Hornet says Coventry and Borough are free hits. Interesting. Really don't think we should get carried away. I think look, to be honest, the next 3 to 4 games are really tough. I have to say it's going to be really difficult for Watford to get much out of the coming weeks. Ipswich, Bristol, Borough, that's really difficult. But ultimately, Buzzing Hornet, if we are to be honest here, Watford have said they expect to challenge or get into the playoff positions this season. And if Javi Gracia come Christmas time or January is struggling to do so, or Watford drop off drastically in form, nothing would surprise me with this ownership is all I'm saying. Maybe expect another change this season if it doesn't go to plan. So, yeah, I don't know. Not to be too pessimistic, but certainly something to keep an eye on. The referee just having a word with both Kwadwo Imran and Mamadou Doumbia. Oh, Hector Cipriani has come onto the pitch, so whoever it was who called for that is correct. Kevin, hello Kevin, long time no speak. He says, afternoon sir, although results not going the right way, I hope all is well with you. It certainly is, Kevin. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Watford have got us underway here once again at the CBS Arena. 45 minutes of football to go. And hopefully we can see something a little bit more fun, potentially. Who knows? A goal would be nice. I'd love to celebrate a singular goal, as Owen said just a moment ago. If you are new around here as well, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. It's totally free to do. Leave a like on the stream as well. And you can also become a channel member. We now have a Javi Gracia emoji you can use in the live chat. I'll spam it in there now for you if you are interested. But yeah, I've added a Javi Gracia emoji for our channel members. So if we are winning football matches, you can spam Javi Gracia's face in the live chat, which I thought could be quite fun. Pollock looks to find Rocco Batter, plays it straight to a Coventry player, and Coventry have won themselves another corner. And actually, looking at the Watford away end now, there's a lot of empty seats in there. Maybe they're still in the concourse, or maybe these Watford fans have gone home. I don't know, but a lot of people choosing to sit down. And actually, if you are watching at home as well, there must be a couple of hundred empty seats now in that Watford away end, which is, yeah, very sad to see, actually. It's a Coventry corner. Pollock gets pulled down at the back post. Watford are awarded a goal kick. Who's off for Cipriani? They didn't actually show that, Kyle. I'm just going to check on socials for you now, actually. Bear with me one moment. It might be Kayembe. Yeah. So, yeah, Cipriani replaces Edu Kayembe. So we've got a Cipriani, loser midfield, Bar, Batter, Doumbia. And then, obviously, we're one player down defensively. Let's look up when our next stream may be, shall we? Watford fixtures. Let's take a look. We can see who we're going to be facing next. So, yeah, as it stands, Coventry 3, Watford 0. That's the match we're watching today. Middlesbrough at home next weekend. I'll be there, of course, in my season ticket seat. So our next watch along will probably be Tuesday, the 4th of November, a 7:45 kickoff, Ipswich Town away. What a tasty fixture that will be. We then have Bristol City at home, followed by Derby County away, Preston at home, and then Birmingham City away to take us into December. So yeah, it doesn't get any easier from here if you're a Watford fan, unfortunately. Here's loser into Hector Cipriani. Oh. Pollock. Hector, who's dropped in between Matty and Kevin Caben. Loser, all on his own in the midfield. Dinks a pass in behind to find Mamadou Doumbia, and it's well defended by Cov. Ah. It's just interesting, isn't it? Because if the club hadn't had said at the start of this season the aim is to get into the playoff positions, if they had said the aim is to solidify this team in the championship and then build something from there, I think we would all be more patient and actually more forgiving when Watford have results like this. But because they've almost shot themselves in the foot and dug themselves a big hole, Watford fans, rightly or wrongly, are now expecting top six. I think it's fair for me to make that statement. So yeah, I don't know. Here we go. Watford on the attack though. Boller looking to find Rocco Vata, who is running into the penalty box. And that's a foul committed by Hector Cipriani. That's a sort of funny tweet. Fwog says the Chuckle Brothers are off, so that's a positive. So Thomas has come off for Coventry. Wolfenden has come on in his place. I think Watford were linked with Wolfenden actually during the summer transfer window. We opted to go for, of course, for Moza Mendy instead. Theme Park Ted says, who do I want in the FA Cup? Oh, we're getting too carried away, Ted, already. Ask me in another month and a half or so. Look, to be honest with you, like the Carabao Cup, not to disrespect the FA Cup and what it means for smaller teams, if you will. But Watford aren't in the position to prioritise a cup run this season. Obviously, under Javi, it's quite nostalgic because we reached the final many years ago, back in 2019. But for me, I'd much rather draw a Man United away, get knocked out, and then just focus on the league. Maybe an exciting lower league away day would be nice. But I'd rather have less fixtures and more time to focus on championship football, to be honest with you. Good defending there by Rocco Vata. It's a shame for Rocco as well, because I was really pleased for him after the West Brom game. Obviously, he got the winner at Vicarage Road, a good finish from him. But I think with Rocco, and I think this is a fair judgment. I think with Vata, he is a instinctive finisher where when he doesn't have time to think about the opportunity, he'll stick it away. But like we've seen today, he had 10, 15 seconds running through on goal, thinking about what to do. And then on 2 or 3 occasions, he's fluffed his lines. So I think with Rocco, like we saw against West Brom, if he just has a second to think, run on the ball, hit, he's fantastic. When he has more time to think about what he should do in front of the goalkeeper, I think that's maybe where his weakness is currently, but that will come with time. And Rocco is still only, 20, 21 years old. So, yeah, plenty of time for him still to develop and find that real cutting edge, of course. The Hornets house, Callum, hello, hello, hello. I hope you're well. He says, I do agree with that. To be fair, we don't have the pedigree to progress into the latter stages of domestic cups. I would rather draw a mega team, give it a go, and then focus on the league. Absolutely agree with that. And yeah, Hector committing a foul there on Thomas Asante. Buzzing Hornet says, lose to United, how low do you rate us? I know. To be fair to United, they've actually done all right in the past couple of games. I'm looking forward to, I think it's Man United Brighton later today, the 5:30 kickoff. So yeah, I'll be watching that. I've got a couple of Man United friends actually, so I do like taunting them whenever they lose football matches. And to be honest with you, I want the guy who's growing his hair to finally get it cut, because his hair is out of control. He said he's only going to get it cut when they win 5 games in a row. They're currently on 2 games in a row, United, and yeah, to be honest, I just want that guy to get his hair cut. I mean, look, it's always going to be more difficult for Watford now. We have a man less. Coventry, clearly can go and try and score as many goals as they want. They don't have. It's not like they're 1-0 up and have to try and defend their lead. They're 3 goals up and can play with relative ease. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe as Watford tire, we get more open at the back, and yeah, maybe Coventry get a couple more, maybe then 4 or 5 nil in the end. Sakamoto here over on the right hand side, taking on Rocco Vata and Hector. He plays it back. Oh, what play this is. Superb from Coventry. One-touch football. Absolutely brilliant stuff here. Here's Matt Grimes. Bar hoofs up the pitch. Watford just can't get hold of possession at all. Perfecto. There we go. Oh, good save by Selvik. I'm sorry there's a lack of commentary at the moment, but it's literally all Cov in possession. They now have a corner. Matt Grimes, number 6, standing over it. They paid, as I said earlier, big money for him from Swansea. I think was it the January transfer window of last season? They paid all of that money for Matt Grimes. Buzzing Hornet says, I wonder when Mamar comes back, we could play him in the 10 and rotate with Georgie. Potentially so. That's interesting because he certainly is capable of that role. I saw someone ask the other day if Mamar can play as a striker, and he definitely can't do that. But certainly as I think an unorthodox 10 or almost like a false 9 maybe. I think off-man Mamar could be a pretty good option, but yeah, from what we've seen so far, Javi doesn't play like that anyway, but certainly to rotate with like Vata or Chakvedadze, yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that. We don't know what level he's at as well. You have to remember, of course, massive congratulations to him, firstly, for winning that tournament with Morocco, and ultimately he won the MVP of the whole competition as well. But how that translates to proper men's football in an English division in the Championship for Othman Mama, I don't know. He could very much, make a couple of sub appearances for us and then play for the under 21s. I don't know. But if I was Watford, I would try and integrate him into the first team as quickly as possible, because there was reports yesterday that potentially Real Madrid are already sniffing around him and seeing how he'll perform at Watford this season. So yeah, certainly a good asset to have at the club. But yeah, how he'll be used, I don't know, because there's a lot of competition in them wide areas already. David says, I've been a Watford fan since 1965. Well, David, firstly, a big well done to you for sticking around for that long. And secondly, of course, you've seen many more ups and downs than me. I'm sure you're much more balanced than I am when it comes to my reactions over certain things. You'd have seen, Watford in their pomp under Graham Taylor, John Barnes, etc. All these wonderful players, Luther Blissett. Whereas for me, my best spell supporting Watford was under Javi Gracia, really. So yeah, certainly a stark contrast in ages between us, David. Charlotte says, any improvement to our performance in the second half? Not really. I mean, Watford haven't really had the chance to do much on the ball. We've not really had the possession, Charlotte. Coventry here with another corner. It's towards the back post this time. And Watford have the chance to counter here. Doumbia holds up the ball into Ngakia. Loser. Here we go. Kwadwo Bar down this right-hand side. Go on, KB. Run. And it's taken down. And that is a Watford free kick. Dan says, how is Jezza? How is Ngakia? I wouldn't say it's his best game. Not his best game. There's been worse players, I will say. Barr looks to be in a lot of discomfort here. He's holding his shoulder, or certainly his upper arm, which looks to be the same area he injured a few weeks ago. So hopefully he's okay. But Kwadwo Barr, taking a nasty fall after that foul. Ms. Alive says, who got the red card for Watford? Was it justified? So James Abankwa got the red card for Watford towards the end of the first half. Was it justified? Yes, probably. It was a denial of a clear goal scoring opportunity. But in my opinion, we did have another man covering. So yeah, maybe not a clear red, but he took the guy down. He was nowhere near the ball. And it was a big chance through on goal. So, yeah, probably, justified, I would say. 2 substitutions for Watford now. Looks like Nestri Irankunda is going to be one of them, replacing Quadwobar, who again is looking in a lot of discomfort here. And Vivaldo Semedo coming on as well. That's interesting. Kyle says, best performer today. If I was to pick someone, I would go with Mamadou Doumbia. I think he's looked really, really good. I would start Doumbia against Middlesbrough, actually. Yeah, so Quadwobar, he's making himself some sort of sling out of his Watford shirt. I mean, that shoulder injury, unfortunately, is coming back to roost once again. Nestri Irankunda coming on in his place. 64 minutes gone here at the CBS Arena. And Mamadou Doumbia coming off. For me, he is the Watford man of the match today. He's coming off for Vivaldo Semedo, the Portuguese striker. Which is fine. You know, Watford aren't getting back into this game. These are really just substitutions for substitution's sake, but you might as well utilise your squad and give them minutes when it ends up like this. Yeah, Doumbia looking really disappointed actually on the bench there, which is good to see. Good to see. It's good to see he's got the passion for the game. So, the free kick resulting from Quadwo has just been taken. Oh, shot from distance, gets blocked, and it goes out for a Coventry throw. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. Of course, it's totally free to do. You can do so by clicking the button just beneath my face today. Do leave a big thumbs up as well. It really helps me out and tells YouTube that you are enjoying what you're watching. And also, if you do want to, you can become a channel member by clicking the join button as well. And you'll get access to some custom emojis like this Javi Gracia one I've just sent in the live chat. So yeah, you can do that as well if you are interested. Charlotte says Quadwo comes in for some rough treatment. Opposition sides often just choose to take him out, which has consequences for his fitness. Referees need to look after players like KB better. Yeah, for sure. And I think KB has said that himself before in interviews on social media. He's said, he gets fouled all of the time, yet the referees, don't punish opposition players for that. So yeah, I think you're pretty much spot on there, Charlotte, in your sentiment. Oh, Vata does really well, jinking in and out to keep the ball in play. Plays it in behind for Vivaldo Semedo, who goes down. Is that a penalty? And it is a penalty to Watford. It's a penalty to Watford. Oh, has the referee said penalty? No penalty? I think it's a penalty. A penalty to Watford. Rudy says we might get a goal. Who's going to take this? So it was lovely work by Rocco Vata. Plays it in behind. Yeah, for me, that is a penalty. Let's just watch it back on the replay here one more time. Rushworth. Yeah, he takes down Vivaldo Semedo. A great run in behind. And for me, that is a clear penalty. I don't think he gets the ball. I think Vivaldo touches the ball first. So Watford here with a chance to at least get a consolation goal back. Who's going to take this? I'm not sure. It looks like it's going to be Imran Loser. So Loser stepping up to the spot to take this for the Hornets. I think this will put him on 4 goals already in the Championship this season if he scores. So Loser versus Rushworth. Here we go. Just waiting for the referee to blow his whistle. This is our first penalty this season. Loser steps up and slots it away nicely. Imran Loser scores for Watford, and we're back in the game. We have 20 minutes to play. Can we do the unthinkable? Can we do it? Who knows? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But 20 minutes to go. Loser sticks it away. Well done, Imran. And Watford are back in this game. So let's get that score changed. And for once, we can put a 1 in the column of Watford. Coventry 3, Watford 1 at the CBS Arena. Imran Loser slotting away the penalty. Goal, goal, goal. Happy with that. Okay, interesting. It's been a really good game, actually. If I was a neutral and didn't support either team, this would be very entertaining, I've got to say. Charlotte says, game on. Absolutely. VJ says, now watch them fold like a set of dominoes. Oh, I hope so. I really do hope so. Ignoto says, hi, bro. I like your enthusiasm. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Kyle says, let's go. I believe. Come on, Kyle. Come on. Is Patrick still here? We've not heard from Patrick for a while. Hopefully you're happy with the goal, Patrick, even though we are still 3-1 down. And once again, if you haven't already, give me a subscribe. Go on, just for the goal itself. That guy Mark says, we're never beating the loser FC allegations. You are right, to be fair. I mean, if Georgie was fit, Georgie would probably take the plaudits as well. But yeah, Imran Loser, I think he's definitely leaving us in the summer. Even if Watford got promoted, I still think Imran would probably leave. So, yeah. Philip says, next goal either way will be crucial. Exactly. If Watford get a goal now in the next 10 minutes, it would make it 3-2 with still a good portion of the match to go. So, as you say, the next goal certainly is massive in this game. Patrick says he is here, just currently wondering what we've become. Positivity, Patrick. Come on. Give me some good vibes. Watford win it back. Here is Loser. Vatter. Oh, here we go. Watford on the break. Oh, what a good opportunity that was on that left-hand side. Kyle says, I think Sissoko will run to Javi tomorrow, asking to be on penalties. It wouldn't surprise me, Kyle. It wouldn't surprise me. The ego Sissoko has is off the scale. It's okay. I've seen a goal. I feel more positive. I feel more positive. So Loser takes the corner. It's cleared. Hopefully Watford can recycle this. Jezza picks it back up. Still with Jezza being closed down. Out here to Nestri Irankunda, who sends it wide, looking to find Matty Pollock, who can't quite keep the ball in, and it goes out for a Coventry throw. I think that's the word, VJ. Showing some spirit. Watford have been fine. I think we've been fine today. I think we've been okay in terms of our work rate and desire to try and score goals. What concerns me, though, is, again, our inability to keep a clean sheet, defend from set pieces. Again, another goal today coming from a corner, which is, a real frustration and bugbear for me. So, yeah, certainly we have to be more clinical in front of goal, and we need to work on our set piece defending as well. Get that first contact, be aggressive, because, yeah, we certainly haven't been that for the past, well, I say the past few weeks, for a long time now, for a long time. Ellis Sims has come onto the pitch for Cov. Haji Wright has been taken off. Come on, Watford. Come on. If we get a second, they'll be hyped. Here's Iran Kunda. Can't quite hold on to it. Coventry looking to counter quickly now. They've got men over on this left-hand side. Ngakia gets back quickly. He's done, though. Watford in a good shape, actually. Fwog says, if we could finish and it weren't Cov, and if it weren't Coventry, things could have been so different. If XG mattered, would be 2.54 to 1.28 up, despite being at 10 men. Philip says, Gracia has had time to watch our videos of our squad, but is still not selecting the best players, so it is partly his fault that the first few games have been patchy. Yeah, I think there's obviously a lot of factors. Javi, in my opinion, if he had watched Watford over the past season and a half, he should have realised before he come that Sissoko and Kayembe weren't up to it, which suggests to me he maybe hasn't watched as much of us as he maybe said, potentially. I don't know. Yeah. Sakamoto gets round Vatter, but Watford win it back, and here is Vatter again. He gets taken down. It's a yellow card, referee, surely. The Watford players getting into a bit of a tiff here. Eccles and Van Erwijk. So Van Erwijk's been booked for that. Ball in for life says, come on, Watford. Thank you. Oh, we will win eventually. We'll win away from home eventually, I can assure you. When that time will come, I don't know. The next away game is Ipswich, which is very difficult. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know when the next away win's going to come. We're not even wearing our away kit again today. I mean, we actually very rarely even wear our away kit nowadays. Dreamcatcher says, hello, James. I thought I would pop in to cheer on Watford. Here's Iran Kunda. A good ball across the box. No one there to tap home. Vatter. Let's go back to Dreamcatcher's message. Hello, James. I thought I would pop in to cheer on Watford, although I am a Millwall supporter. We need Coventry to lose in order for you to win the championship. Yes, Millwall doing very well so far this season. You didn't impress me too much when you played us, but you got the job done. You got the 3 points, of course. And yeah, you guys are right up there this season. So yeah, big congratulations to you. Charlotte says, we may not get an away win until 2027. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful it will be this year, Charlotte. Let's take a look at the next few away fixtures, shall we? Obviously, Ipswich is the next one. Let's have a Google, shall we? So we've got Ipswich, Derby County away. That could be a good one. An opportunity for Watford. Birmingham away on the 1st of December. That will be difficult. Wrexham away after that. Oh, God. Leicester away. Norwich away. Hull City away in the new year. Yeah, you know what, Charlotte? You might actually be right. Maybe 2027 will be Watford's next away win. Oh dear, we are terrible, aren't we? uh, that guy Mark with a good point here. He said Charlton did win away at Ipswich. You never know. Certainly did, but Charlton also did beat us, Mark. So that is something to think about as well. Yeah, if Norwich lose this afternoon, I mean, surely Liam Manning is going to get sacked. I can't see how he'll be able to stay in that job much longer. Cleared by Kevin Kabem. Another substitution for Coventry about to take place. Oh dear. Vivaldo Semedo's been good since he come on. Actually, he won the penalty. Good ball in behind from Rocco Vata, which is good. Doumbia, very impressive today. So yeah, my standout performance would probably be loser Vata, Mamadou Doumbia. Dreamcatcher says James, you might be able to beat Sheffield Wednesday. Maybe. Although, obviously, with all the stuff going on around them in the past 24 hours, they all seem quite positive and optimistic now. So, yeah, obviously, Sheffield Wednesday clearly are the poorest side in the division. Let's not beat around the bush there. But you can never underestimate anyone. So, yeah, it would be classic Watford to lose away at Hillsborough. Ahmed says, I think we should go for Bukayo Saka. He's world class. He is world class. He used to be at Watford's academy, actually, Bukayo Saka, when he was very young. I'm talking about like 6, 7, 8 years old before he went to Arsenal. And yeah, Watford have had a lot of world class talents in our academy. Harry Kane was in the Watford academy. Jadon Sancho was also in the Watford academy, as was Bukayo Saka. So yeah, I'd love Saka, Ahmed, but I think I'd rather stick with Kwadwo Bar for now. Yeah, you are right, Kyle. I feel like, I mean, even when you go back to like Sheffield United, we kick-started their season, really, didn't we? So, yeah, I think you have a point. Just depressing, isn't it? Really is depressing. It ruins your weekend when the team you support loses. Although I have got better over the years at kind of putting that to one side, especially for home games where, if Watford lose at home, as soon as I leave the stadium, I'm pretty much zoned out of it already. Excuse me, losing my voice now. So yeah, when I was younger, I mean, I'm still young, but when I was much younger, I used to get very frustrated at defeats, and it would ruin not only my weekend, but actually my whole week ahead. Whereas now, maybe I'll be annoyed for a couple of hours, but then yeah, I'll very quickly move on. So yeah, they don't affect me as much as they used to. Watford defeats, or maybe I've just become accustomed to it because it happens so regularly. Tom Ince getting ready to come on. Loser into Ngakia. Vata with a ball to the back post. Oh, Iran Kunda gets a good contact on that. Well held by Rushworth in goal. Thank you for the positive affirmations, Dreamcatcher. You're certainly more positive than me anyway. Not long left to go until we're all out of our misery, thankfully. Here's Iran Kunda. Magnus says time for a Ince worldie. I'll never forget Ince's goal against Man City away. It was actually world class, to be fair. It was a really good finish by Tom Ince. Watford probably should have drew that game, actually. Kwadwo Bar had a goal disallowed early on, if you remember as well, for being too physical in the referee's eyes. So, yeah, that's a good memory, Man City away. So Ince has come on. We're one subscriber away from 1,940. So if you are thinking about it and haven't already, for the last time today, do go and click that button down below and leave a thumbs up on the live stream as well. It would be very greatly appreciated. And you can also become a channel member as well by clicking join in the description. Iran Kunda with some great work down the left. Semedo turns, shoots. And I tell you what, Watford have had so many opportunities today. And I think it's a combination of good goalkeeping and poor finishing. I'm not putting it all down to poor finishing from Watford. But Semedo there again. Great work by Nestri Iran Kunda. Semedo holds it up, turns, shoots on his weaker foot. And to be fair, it's a save Rushworth should be making at his near post. But he does do very well. Selvik out to Matty Pollock. Iran Kunda, loser. Hector. Back to Nestri Iran Kunda. Takes a risk, but it pays off. Here's Kevin Caben. Back to Egil Selvik. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. A sub from a Coventry fan. Thank you. I know I'm not the best at doing this, but I'm also not the worst. Hopefully I'm an okay watch. I do try and interact with as many of you as possible. So yeah, I really appreciate your support. Javi Gracia still giving instructions on the touchline, as I said earlier, wearing a nice, smart, kind of like buttoned up shirt, like a V-neck. Does look nice. Probably from some Spanish designer brand, I imagine. I think, David, the point I'm trying to make is that I love Javi Gracia and that will never change. But will Gino Pozzo give Javi Gracia time to actually build something at Watford? If Watford have a fall off in form over the next couple of months and we're nowhere near them top 6 positions, we know what Gino's like, David. He'll probably make another change. So I think for me, whilst not agreeing with Gino, I'm almost just anticipating, another change later this season potentially. So yeah, that's where I'm at in regards to my opinion on Javi and what will happen with Gino. Here's Iran Kunda. 2 minutes left to go of normal time. Loser on the ball, over on this left-hand side. Loser again, a 1-2 with Mark Boller. Tom Ince, go on, have a shot, Incy. Go on. Oh, for God's sake. Ngakia gets the ball in. Oh, well defended by Cov. Still with Ngakia. Incy. Nestri Irankunda. Lofts the ball into Loser. And it is cleared. Charlotte says, really appreciate your watch-alongs. Thank you. Great way to stay in touch with away games and news from Vicarage Road. No problem. You can tell he's getting frustrated behind that smile. Yeah. Hector on the ball. I think Watford is now just damage limitation. Try and nick a goal maybe towards the end. Make it 3-2. But no, look. I've seen worse. I've seen worse than Watford in the past. It's certainly not the most awful away performance I've ever seen. I certainly feared for us early on when they scored them 2 early goals. But, yeah. I'll take a couple of hours to reflect on it before I record my reaction. Six minutes added time, blimey. That's quite a lot. Ball in Life says, bro, how can we never win against Coventry? I don't know. You tell me. I'm not in the mind of Javi Gracia. Looked like a foul from Imran Loser there, just on the edge of Watford's box. Referee, thankfully, says play on. Loser's been all over the place once again today. Oh, Loser goes for the spectacular, trying to score from the halfway line. He was doing a Wesley Hoot and Ismail Assar there. Brawl Star says there's a 16-year-old lad on the bench for Coventry. You reckon he will come on? I don't know his name, so you'll have to tell me. I don't think he's on the pitch just yet, unless I've missed that. But yeah, interesting. Charlotte says, let's face it, no one really expected us to come away from this game with any points. That is true, although I was hoping for slightly better than we've seen. Ah, the 3-3 draw. That was really good, actually. I think Rajovic scored his first Watford goal in that game. Or one of his first goals, anyway. I do remember that quite clearly. I think we scored an own goal as well. George Shepherd is his name. He's a 16-year-old midfielder. Thank you very much. I'll keep an eye out. Do you follow us across all social platforms as well? We're, of course, here on YouTube. We're on Twitter, which is also now known as X. Instagram, where we've just hit 5,000 followers. Facebook and TikTok as well. So plenty of platforms to follow us on as well. Of course, is here on YouTube as well. James, it would be nice if you took Charlotte out for a few commiseration drinks. Yeah, don't get me started. I could I could drink my sorrows away after this Watford defeat. Are you guys up to anything interesting this evening? Is anyone going out to the cinema, going out for a meal, getting a takeaway? Do let me know. And Fred's as well. Yes, that is true, Melanie. Thank you for that. The Coventry fans look to be in good voice at the end of this game. The camera just pan into the crowd, showing them looking very happy and cheery indeed. The Watford away end looking a lot emptier than it started with, actually. I'll be interested to see the reaction the away end give this Watford team. But is it going to be really negative? Because I feel it would be after the opening 10 or 15 minutes. Or actually, will the away fans maybe appreciate the team for their efforts in the second half? I don't know. You get mixed reactions from people sometimes, but regardless of them reactions, once again, a credit to everyone that spent all their hard-earned money on a match ticket today, whether that's going up in a car, train, bus, whatever it may be, staying in hotels. It's an expensive business following Watford Football Club, and well over 2,000 Hornets fans up in Coventry today. So massive shout out to them. Whereas we can all watch from the comfort of our own homes, which is good for us anyway. VJ said he's going to have a Turkish kebab in Albania. That sounds lovely. Ballin for Life says he's going to cry himself to sleep after this. Don't do that. Don't do that. Charlotte says we all need a few commiseration drinks after this. You're off out with the girls for a meal tonight. Sounds lovely. What kind of meal are you having, Charlotte? Are you having like an Indian, a Chinese? Turkish. There's a nice Turkish restaurant in the town near me, actually. So yeah, do let us know. About a minute of this game left to go. Dreamcatcher says, James, we're going out tonight to get totally rotten. Are we? I didn't know that. Looking forward to it. Don't forget the clocks go back this evening. They do, actually. The clocks do go back. So we all get an extra hour in bed tomorrow, which is, of course, a positive, which is fantastic. So, yeah, the only positive from today is that the clocks are going back. Brilliant stuff. Melanie says, thinking of going to the Vic next Saturday. Might buy your ticket this evening. Well, Melanie, it's the return of Rob Edwards. So if you want to see Rob Edwards, get yourself down to Vicarage Road. Thanks for the stream, James. My son is out of his friends. Me and the missus gonna have a bite to eat and watch a film. Have a great afternoon. No problem. Enjoy. Ahmed says, I hope we get promoted to the Premier League next season. I certainly hope so as well. And yeah, that is full time. We're over. Finally. I enjoyed our little chat towards the end there. Okay, let's get the timer paused and I'll give you my final thoughts on the match. Look, I'm not as angry as I was in the first half. Watford showed enough to me today to suggest, the work rate was there, the desire was there, that the passion for the club was there from most of the players on the pitch. I thought Doumbia, Batter, and Loser were the standouts. Boller looked okay to me as well. Javi didn't help himself, let's be honest, in terms of the balance of the team by starting Sissoko and Kayembe. The Abankwa red card, let's talk about that. Was that a denial of a goal scoring opportunity? I think it probably was. I think it was a justified red card, which is unfortunate for him because I thought Abankwa, especially against Oxford, I was there for that one. I thought he put in a real good performance. So he'll be missing for what's a straight red card? Is that a 1 game ban or is it 3? I think it's 3 games actually, isn't it? A straight red card. So Abankwa missing for the next few potentially, which is a big shame for him. Doumbia, Semedo, when they come on, they were positives as well. Vatta with the ball in behind for the penalty as well. So look, in conclusion, I'm frustrated, clearly. I expected the defeat today. Did I expect it in that manner? Maybe not. I maybe expected a bit more from Watford defensively. I still want a clean sheet at some point. I think it's fair for me to say that. I'm desperate for that. Watford, if we are to win matches of football at the moment, it's always coming from behind. So what I want now moving forward is for Javi to very quickly find his best 11 and stick with that for 3, 4, 5 games. Play the best players in their best positions, let it click, and hopefully we can build something from there. Because for the time being, under Paolo and now Javi, in every single game we're making 5 or 6 changes. And whilst that's good for player morale and getting people fitness and back into the team, they're not able to build up relationships and subconsciously know where each other are going to be at any given time. So that's what I want now. I hope Javi learns from this defeat. Hopefully the whole squad will learn from this as well. We're still early on in the season, so it's not like Watford are really far off the playoff positions or right down towards the relegation zone. We are in mid-table as it stands. But from this point on, I will be more critical of Javi in terms of his team selections. And when I talk about team selections, I'm talking about the exclusion of certain players. So Formosa Mendy, our number 1 centre-back target, not in the squad at all. Pierre Duomo, not in the squad. Non-Police Mendy, our new midfielder, not in the squad. Yet we're still seeing Sissoko and Kayembe. So, look, Javi has plenty of credit in the bank with me. Do not worry. I'm not saying anything ridiculous as yet. However, I think for me, if he is as intelligent as he seems to be, hopefully he'll look at this game, learn from it, and as we move forward, look to play a more progressive, aggressive style of football is what I will say. So we'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. Appreciate all the kind words once again. Ipswich away in a couple of weeks looks to be our next watch along at night. So do join me once again for that. And yeah, our match preview looking ahead to Middlesbrough will be out at some point during the middle of next week. Hopefully we'll get a Borough fan to contribute to that as well, which would be really interesting to listen to. So go and enjoy your Saturday afternoons. The sun is shining outside my window, and try and forget about the Watford defeat. So thank you for watching. See you again soon, and hopefully Watford will get a clean sheet in the next couple of matches, because I am desperate for that. Thanks for watching.